Hello guys, my name is Nine and welcome back to another base build. If you guys are new to my channel, please consider dropping a like and subscribing as it greatly helps absolutely everything that I'm doing here. And at this point in the video, you may be wondering about the cost and the upkeep of the base. So here we're looking at the cost of 58k stone, 42k metal frags, and 204 high qual. Very reasonable for a trio to achieve. And now over here, we will be looking at the upkeep of the base. It's very cheap. 10k stone, 7k metal frags, and 50 high qual. It's easy enough that I could pull it off solo. So if you guys have any other questions, comments, or concerns with the base, please leave a comment down below or consider joining my Discord where I can help you further there. Alright guys, I love you all and let's get into the tour. Alrighty guys, before we actually get on with the build, we obviously need to go for a tour here. So starting at one of our three externals here, I can show you the upkeep of it. Obviously it's the same on every side, 700 frags, 700 stone, and a little bit of wood. And these are disconnectable TCs, so if you don't know how to do this by now, you place a twig like so, and it'll disconnect this section right here. Breaking the twig and replacing our frames in whatever grade you desire, you're all good and reset, ready to go. Okay, entering into one of our gatehouses now, you'll see that we have a very basic peek into compound. It's nothing special, just a little bit of a retake if needed. You can obviously glass window this off and just put like a respawn in here as well. Yep, entering into our compound, you will see that we have a very basic wide gap shooting floor up here. It's just super small. I've meant to keep this thing really cheap, efficient, just overall just a really, cost-effective base. But it is a full 360 coverage of the entire compound, so that's very nice. Yeah, there are three entrances into the base, and they are a little weird as they are raised here. So there's one here, here, and obviously on the other side, as this is kind of like a triangle base. You jump up into here, and you may be a little confused right away, but this is actually a bunker module. So what this is this is a, I believe, called a socket stacked bunker. I could be butchering the name, but that's what it is. So as you can see here, this is stacked right here. There's a frame and a floor in the exact same socket. So to open this bunker, you're simply gonna grab a twig roof, crouch here, and place. Now obviously this bunker is open, as you can see. And if you wanna replace it, you break this twig here. And if you've done everything right, you place this floor frame, either from the top or bottom, does not matter, and upgrade to your desired grade. So like sheet metal or high qual, obviously. And you can do whatever you want there. Okay. And then we'll go down into what is our starting unit. So our starting unit is through one of these bunkers, but the other two sides just have storage in them, and I'll show you those in a bit. But coming down to here, you'll see our starting unit. This is obviously meant for a trio. This is not meant for a large group. It can hold a few people. It's all it's meant for. And then here is our TC with its main upkeep. It's overall really reasonable. And we get obviously a little bit of storage, tier 2, some furnaces, some bags, and then more furnaces as we head out. Okay, so jumping back up to here, we can go and continue on our second level. So our second level is kind of just a split off in 3-direction thing with just tons of garage doors to kind of up the cost of reaching the other bunkers. And then we have nice little drop box loot rooms above our little bunker opening. And just to the side that could be glass windowed off or however you want to do it. We also house our tier 3 here, a locker, you can put a research bench here, repair bench, you get the point, it's pretty simple. And then I'll show you one of the other bunkers, which is just a furnace jump down. You can obviously put a ladder here, but furnaces for me are just easier. And I just done one large box, one small box. You can obviously fit more loot space down here depending on your terrain. If the terrain allows for it, you can probably fit a few small boxes down there. But if you're in water, you obviously can't. So just be aware of that. Then I'll jump back out of here. There are 3 ways up now. Above the bunker openings, we can go up like so. And this will lead to our wide gap shooting floor. That is obviously mirrored on every side, so you can see that we have very nice peaks into compound on every side here. And kind of shoulder peak angles, you get the point, very nice. And then we also have roof peaks above a little turret spot, which gives us full 360 on every point of our roof. And then obviously these turrets will hold the entire shooting floor very effectively. Now coming over to here, we have double doors that lead to little bedrooms. So we have locker, bed, and small box. That's enough for obviously one person per. And going up our ladder hatches, we then have access to our roof. Now, I purposely did not show the battery placement in the tour, so if you are actually building the base, you will learn the battery placement later in the base build, but I just don't want people to watch the tour and find the batteries. A little bit of an idea there. And then obviously roof, we have our roof turrets, we have more peaks, you kind of have like double angles through here, and all that. You get little nice peaks to have cover, and I've done this pretty effectively. It's just nice angles. You can also jump up and get side peek angles, you know, the whole shebang. Alright, so without further ado, we will be getting on with the actual build of the base. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, please either leave a comment in the description or join my Discord, which is also linked in the description, and ask me there. I'm more than happy to answer any questions that you may have about the base. Alright, let's get into it, boys. Alrighty guys, obviously before we get on the build, I do like to show the footprint beforehand for those that like to see it and know what they're working with. So, starting off here, this will be our starting unit. This kind of shuriken almost like pattern, so from this high qual into here, like so. It's a little weird obviously, but it's effectively honeycombed on all sides and all that. These are going to be honeycomb for our cores and our bunkers. These are going to be our socket stack bunker openings. And then obviously we have our wide gaps like so, our gatehouses, our disconnectables. So I'll give you one last look at that before wiping the island and getting started with the starter. Okay. So coming down here and wiping the entire thing, we're going to start off with a simple starter unit. So what I like to do when building the starter unit is build out of twig to get the main foundation down so I know what I'm working with. So the simple way to do this, in my opinion, is to look at each triangle and build one off the left side, like so. This will make our little shuriken-like pattern. And now coming over in stone, I'm going to upgrade, this will be our TC compartment right here, like so. And this will be our loot room compartment, over like so. This will be our airlock, that's to our bunker, and now I'll cap the entire thing off. And add our double single door airlock. Now when placing this TC, if you do place it correctly, as I should be doing here, you can actually fit a furnace in this little area. We can then window it off, like so. I like to add a shelf in here for our little boot room. Obviously you can make a little door path going to our TC. We can garage door these off at any point in time. And then I like to I will place this tier 2 like this. So obviously you can put tier 1 here, and then I like to put an extra furnace there. Fit a little small box for some med resources, and then I would like my 4 large boxes up in here. And obviously we can add our small boxes at any point, does not really matter. I like placing them on by the side like that, and we get the point. And then just adding 3 bags in here, you just place them against this wall like so. You should be able to get 3 quite easily. This is our entire starter unit. Obviously add garage doors whenever you can to this thing to actually make it more expensive. You can actually fit another small box if you want good access to everything like so. This is just how I do it, where I have good access to every box, and we're good. Obviously if you can, pretty early, get an embrasure in this guy, and just embrasure him off whenever you're not messing with it, and you'll be good. Something to note before we go and expand is I will be using a little bit of symmetry on the space to make sure. Alrighty, coming outside now with symmetry enabled, we're going to be adding this triangle here in stone, followed by a stone double door frame and a wall here. Now grab a floor triangle frame and place it above you like so. This is what you should be looking at. This is perfect. Now grab a twig, and we're going to be building our socket stack build out. So build 1 triangle, 1 square, and 1 more triangle, and break the square in the first triangle like so. Okay, now we're going to be counting 9 triangles out. This is 1, this is 2, so 9 right side triangles. This is 1, 2, this does not count, okay? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, now breaking every triangle on the way back. Apologies about the lag there. And coming back to this square. Now obviously I've mirrored on every side, so you'll have to do this on every side, but I'll show you the completed product so you can understand. Now building back with only squares, all the way back, and finally the last square that is here. And this is perfect. Now breaking all of that last square, I like to ensure that the bunker actually works before going any further. So what I like to do is place my raised triangle like so, 2 half walls. I'll fly just to make it easier. And then you gotta place this triangle first is what I like to do, just to make sure it's on the right socket, because this is really confusing. And then place this one off so, like so. and you should be able to place a triangle in this socket like so. Okay, now to ensure that this bunker actually works, that everything is twig right now, before you stone anything, grab a roof tile and place it here. If this does not open, you have done something wrong, and you should either retry it or come ask for help in my Discord or in the comments, whatever works, okay? And then obviously to retest that this works, you can't place this here when this roof tile is active. Breaking this roof tile and replacing, it means the bunker's good. So now that everything is good, we're going to stone up everything. If you do have sheet metal, I do suggest sheet metal at least this foundation, as you would hate to have to redo that whole process. And then I'm gonna just stone this guy up for now, and ignore that this is bugged out there. We're good, okay? I'm gonna just do this to make it look unbugged. Now obviously on every single side we do have bunkers. So now there's a bunker on this side obviously, a bunker on this side, and a bunker on this side. The next point to do is to add our honeycomb real quick of our main TC compartments. So placing 3 triangles off like so. You can upgrade these to stone. Apologies for not just having some build grade on. And then walling this guy in. If you do have the resources at this point, it is never a bad idea to sheet metal the entire top of the starter in, like I have done here, to make it a more expensive raid. Okay. Coming down here, or coming over here rather, to actually make our entrances into base. Apologies. You're gonna place 2 stone walls up like so. Double door frame here. Half wall, and, or not half wall, but ceiling. Okay. Coming here, we can wall this guy in. If you're having trouble placing this frame, like for some reason it'll go red on sometimes, what I suggest doing is just grabbing your furnace jump up that's going to be here anyways at one point, placing it, and placing the frame from this side. It'll make it much easier. And then obviously put a half wall in here and your jump up in first. Okay, now if I don't mess up this jump, and we're good, we can continue over to here. Single door, you can obviously do a double door if you want to do garage doors, which make it more expensive. And then I like to do half walls on top of here. This is also a great spot for a shotgun trap looking straight down. It's super effective. Now you can either do whatever, you can do a ladder here or really whatever you want, but I prefer just doing some furnaces. If you do get perfect placement, you can actually fit 3 furnaces here, so it's really good for cooking up. Basically perfect, good enough. And this is what I use my jump up for. Okay. Continuing and going, this will turn into honeycomb in this section right here for that bunker, and this will turn into a loot room. And I just like to window this guy off and adding frames in every single socket like so, just to seal this entire guy off. Apologies, I did not mean to push that button. Okay, now let's go around and add some deployables to make sure everything is kind of good. So obviously single door this guy off. If you have a garage door and you garage door this off early, it's very effective, obviously. Garage dooring both this guy, and this guy is also nice. And these guys. If you get just these garage doors down, day 1, this is insane. Obviously, if you get the ones in core as well, it's beautiful. At this point, if you haven't already, I suggest upgrading the top of your entire first starter and sheet metaling this like so. Coming down, apologies, gotta find the right bunker side. Here we go. I suggest coming into here and sheet metaling everything in starter, just to make it a more expensive raid. You should be able to reach this back wall by picking up this furnace. The way we've done this like this is you can come in this. I suggest armoring this foundation if you can now, and sheet metaling it. If you can do that before or from the outside, it's better, because otherwise you can't fit this furnace in. But if you have furnaces elsewhere, usually it doesn't matter if you lose that guy. It's not going to be the end of the world. And then obviously, apologies about my symmetry, screwing some stuff up, guys. Oh, it's fun. Don't worry. Don't worry. It's fun. It's fun. It's fun. There we go. Okay, we're all good. We're all good. At this point, if you do have an armored door, this is a beautiful spot for it, like so. And then coming down into here, I suggest sheet metaling this and this. This right here is a practically efficiently upgraded first 2 floors. If you can get this up day 1 on a server, just this, you're miles ahead. This will be an expensive raid. If you split loot to those bunkers down there, it'll be expensive, and that's the goal, man. That's the goal. Okay, coming on top of here, We're going to continue expanding like so. These will be our exits onto our roof, obviously, or not our roof, but our shooting floor, our wide gap shooting floor. This will be our roof peak up right here. And I like to put our frames in like so. Now I suggest doing something like this. I'll usually garage door this guy off and then double door this off. And then I'll leave this kind of open right now, except for I'll wall this in for my bedroom. Like so. Obviously this is just honeycomb at this point. Not really useful, doesn't really need anything. But obviously at this point we need to put our wide gap shooting floor down as to fill in this kind of section and area like so. Okay, so let's do that. So let's build 4 squares out. Let's do this in twig, not in stone. And break these guys. Coming back with only triangles now. And breaking like so. Making this little footprint. We will see the finalized product. This is what you should be looking at. Ignore that square. Like so. And obviously I'll show you another side so what it looks like from different angles. Okay, to ensure this does not decay, we're going to be putting some frames on top, but first we're actually going to make our external. So to make our external, we're going to build 4 triangles out, 1 square. I like to upgrade this to wood. And then I like to make my sheet metal foundation. This is going to be your effectively upgraded area here. 2 garage doors like such. And throw your TC in this compartment. And I'll just close this guy up because it's not really needed anymore. Okay, apologies. So now breaking this little connection here. Obviously we got to connect this back to the base. So coming over here, apologies. Let's stone this guy up like so. I suggest at least sheet metaling this tile right here, like such. And then I will add my windows, my frames, and everything of the sort. I like to sheet metal the top of this guy, and then I also will put half walls on top of here like such for our turret that will wash into compound. Now connecting this back to our external so it does not decay. We do this like so. That's obviously just connectable like so. This twig right now will decay. And that's because right now there's technically nothing connecting it to this. So to fix that, we're going to first start off, I'm going to upgrade these to sheet right away because just get it in its final form so we don't have to redo anything later. I like to put 2 sheet metal frames like such. You can do low walls or you can just do double door frames or windows or really anything. You can almost make a mini China wall with this and this like so. Upgrading it like this will be, this is effectively upgraded. Okay, and obviously, like I said before, you could obviously just put frames here if you want. There's nothing against it. No one's gonna get mad at you, trust me. Okay. Now to obviously build up our wide gap shooting floor, we're going to be grabbing sheet metal on these guys, just 2 higher, and adding our windows. This is a very basic shooting floor, but its angles are just, it's a nice full 360 on everything. Adding your embrasures, you are pretty much good on this entire regard. I like to put a half wall here and then a window to make our next exit to roof. This is where we want to put 2 triangles like so. A little bit of a stability bug, don't worry about it, we're good. Like so. And then this is a ladder hatch, but you can obviously just use a furnace or whatever you want for this area. Excuse me misspelling triangle hatch very poorly. And adding a triangle like that. Okay. Now jumping up to this guy. We gotta seal in this area. Now, this is what I talked about before of having a weird spot for our batteries. I didn't want to show it before. Now, I actually suggest turning this area right here into a battery area on all sides. Now, the reason we're gonna be doing this like such is because I didn't show it in the tour for the simple reason of most people will see your stuff and just kind of, you know, they'll watch the tour and they'll know where your batteries are, and I don't like that. So coming up like this, make sure glass window this off at all times. Sheet metal that little down spot here, and I will put my batteries in this spot. Obviously these are actually pretty effectively defended too, and I'll garage door this off. And the reason I don't window it is because someone could probably see through this window that it's there, but in reality this is more secure. But obviously it takes away that peak, but the peak isn't really necessary anyways, so we're okay. Coming over here, you can place your triangle roofs through the floor like such. And I'll show you like this. So you can place your triangle roof like so. Boom. Very nice. Coming underneath these wide gaps here, you can place your square roofs, what would be like this, but it's easier to place them through just by staying below like this. Yeah, I know, weird concept, right? And then I like to do a triangle roof tile off this guy to give it that look. Okay, grabbing sheet metal, I'm going to build 3 up, I believe, for our windmills, correct? And place our windmills like such. Those are our 3 windmills. We're gonna add our turrets on our roof. Our roof is complete, except for, apologies, 1 single door like so. Turrets go in this location. I sheet metal this just so it's, you know, a little more secure. And coming along like this. Now, to actually go to the current meta, I suggest putting ramps like so you have crouch peaks. And at least wooding these. If you want to, you can obviously stone them or metal them, but personal preference doesn't really matter. Okay, at this point, we're going to be going through a lot of box placement, deployable placement, and how to get all that stuff efficiently. So the base is technically done. But as you can see here, if you want to know how to place things more efficiently, like here, I'm going to show you how to place your bedroom with, instead of just a locker and having it sticking out, you can actually get a bed, a locker, and a small box, and they can't see it through the door. Boom. This is how you should do your bedrooms on every side. Obviously the most storage that you can get. And you can also put a drop box here, because there's nothing on that other side of there. Okay, jump down here. To effectively upgrade the second floor, you're gonna want to sheet metal these tiles like so. Come down here, I suggest sheet metal in this. If you have the extra resources, high quality this foundation. Don't high quality these half walls, as it's technically not efficient for the raid cost, but just high quality that foundation is extremely efficient. Sheet metal in these guys like so. You are practically good. This is just the way I obviously like to upgrade it. There are other ways. I will sheet metal this little half wall in here. You don't have to do that back one, but if you can, it's always awesome. This area is going to be deployables, but now you should hopefully have extra gears for garage doors. You can just garage door this off to split up the loot even more so. Now coming in this guy, I suggest placing a box here to get these box placed easier. Coming in like so. And I gotta remove this box and replace it to get this placement a little easier. Okay. And then boom, and then boom. Okay. Cool beans. Looks good. Okay. Now coming down into one of our bunkers that is not our starter unit, so apologies, I went to the wrong one. I kind of had to guess there though. Like so. If you haven't, add a shelf in here. It's really easy. I mean, you can just place it off there. It doesn't really matter which side socket it's off. But to place my bunker personally, or not my box personally, I just place a large box and a small box. And I didn't place it in the tour because I just don't like how it looks. But I'm going to fly to place this box to make it easier. But you can also place a large box right here really easily. It actually makes it easier to jump around. So that's a lot of storage for one little bunker. And obviously if you want to put like stashes down there, it's totally possible. Okay, jumping up next. I should just sheet metaling this frame now, just so it can't be broken, and HQMing this tile. So I'm just gonna go around on every side and do that. Okay. Retoggling symmetry, if you would allow me. I like to put some more drop boxes / storage. This base is utilizing just really good split storage, split loot. So it's simple, but it's just really efficient on those standings, like so. We are good. And toggle back off symmetry. And this is where I personally like my tier 3. I don't like a down starter. I like it kind of being, you know, in a useful area, in my opinion. I like to put a locker here. I like to have some kits kind of good for resending, you know, just having them in this kind of area. And for the most part, we have one thing left to do, and that is place our compound. So, grabbing your compound walls and obviously hopefully putting these deployables on your good old gatehouse, like so. To make, apologies here, I'm just gonna replace these guys. Did not have symmetry on, so I apologize. We will fly over here and get her done nice and quick. We'll grab a wood wall And now, obviously, please practice this on build server if you're not amazing at placing wood walls. I will mess up myself most of the time. I like to place the wall basically straight off this far left edge right this, and I like to slightly angle it to the right almost always, like so. Coming over to this guy, just a slight angle, well, in this case to the left. Before then, looking like this, and boom. It's a really easy compound to place, you almost can't mess it up. So obviously I have a little gap there, but that's not really gonna matter at the end of the day. Boom. Boom. Super simple compound. I'm gonna replace this with symmetry on because I am stupid. So, and obviously it's even easier to do when flying. It is a very simple compound to place. And even if you mess up the deployment a little bit, it's not going to be the end of the world because, well, it's so small and the turrets have just like perfect coverage. These 3 turrets will literally hold your entire compound as long as you have like some sort of door here so they can't just sit below, which is beautiful, like so. And then obviously let's get some barricades on top of these guys. Like so. Placing them like this. And that is, without a doubt, almost the entire base finished. Obviously, if you guys have any questions, please let me know. I know this entire section is a little confusing no matter what I do. So yeah, let me know. And then I think that about does it for the entirety of the base build. And one last thing, I suggest spamming furnaces in this area. If you're not in water, you can place furnaces here. And you can even put some smalls. You place it right. You can fit a small to make this a little nicer. But yeah, you got a lot of space. If you're having trouble with this jump up because of the weird jump arounds and stuff, I suggest just removing that furnace and doing a jump up like this. And it'll be a little easier. Okay. That about does it for the entirety of the base build. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff. Please tell me what you think of this base. I know it is a little different from my normal, as I usually like open cores and stuff like that. But some people have been asking for smaller group bases that are really sturdy, and this is, without a doubt, something that can withhold a good amount of rockets. Just with these bunkers, not even counting, you could add vending machine bunkers on the roof. You could really tank this thing in its entirety, especially with how cheap it is. It is just dirt cheap upkeep and everything along those lines. So let me know, guys. I love you all, and I will see you in the next build.